I guess it all started out at Gatlinburg. We were at cross-country camp, and he was doing good, running 4 miles on Monday, 8 miles on Tuesday. Started getting sore. Just figured he was getting sore, so I gave him ibuprofen and some ice. Told him to, get over it. We'll be fine. Tuesday night he started getting a little worse. Wednesday he was real sore. He started getting a fever. Thursday we went home. I had him a doctor's appointment for Friday. He called me about 11 o'clock on Friday at my office and told me he needed to go to the hospital. Went home to get him, and he was on the couch, real light breathing. Took him to Dr. Mayfield, his pediatrician. She's on for about 5 minutes and wanted him at the medical center as fast as we could get there. We got there, they did some chest x-rays, saw pneumonia. They thought that was our issue. So the medical center was treating him the best they could for the pneumonia. He just kept getting worse all night. Somewhere around 4:45 in the morning, he started hallucinating, and they took his temperature and he hit 105.9. And at that point, that's when the critical care team came in, started icing him down. His doctor showed up. Dr. Mayfield was there within 10 minutes. And I'm not even sure where she lives in Bowling Green, but she got there quick. Made the call real fast that he needed to be at a pediatric hospital. She called CoSares in Louisville and Vanderbilt. Thankfully, we ended up here.
I was in Gulf Shores, and Robert was up here, and he's telling me that Jessie's sick, and they go to Vanderbilt.
I'd never heard of MRSA, which is what was determined when we got here, that he had a MRSA blood infection, which had made his body go into septic shock. I'd say within 5 hours of being here, he was on life support.
When I get there to see him, he was very, very, very sick.
We spent the next 13 days that way, and 44 days total in pediatric intensive care.
He was on kidney dialysis 24 hours a day, not 2 hours a day like most people. He was on an ECMO machine, which was life support. He was also on a ventilator. The ECMO had 2 oxygenators on it to put enough oxygen through his body.
When I first saw Jessie, I thought his chances of surviving was around 1 out of 10. He was very, very ill. He had trouble maintaining his blood pressure despite lots of medicine. He had trouble keeping his oxygen level upward ought to be, and we thought that unless we did something different than what was being done, he wasn't going to survive.
One of the doctors came in the hallway and told us that we've put him on a third type of medicine, and he can't. We have nothing else. If this doesn't work, it's all we can do. Kids die of being septic all the time. And, of course we were devastated, but I was like, okay, I'm not going to take that, because we didn't go through all this, each individual step, to fail, 2 weeks into it. So I was like, tell us what we need to pray for right now. And whenever, what's going to get us to the next step. I just didn't know what to think. And he said, right now, if the infection is not gone, then, there's no hope. Everybody was praying for the infection. And that was on that Sunday. And on Tuesday, it was the first day that the infection didn't grow. So I've told everybody, there's no way that you could travel on this journey and not believe in God, because whenever they've said there's nothing else we can do, we have prayed for that specific thing every single time. And within days, sometimes minutes, something has happened.
When I first saw Jessie, he was swollen. He had about 40, I think, pounds of fluid on him. And it was a little bit scary to look at him. And but we went in and moved him around, did range of motion, and then one day he started helping with that. And then one day, he reached up and he hugged me, and it touched my heart. And I went home And I called my mom and I told her how much I love my job, because there are people like Jessie when I come to work every day. And, you know, his parents joked that he saved that first hug for me, and I didn't realize at the time that it was the first hug, but when I found that out, it touched my heart even more.
Jessie had a lot of moments where he would get very sad about being in the hospital, but the word that comes to mind when I think of Jessie is perseverance, because even when he would get sad and frustrated, he would choose to decide that he was going to still persevere and still keep fighting.
He recovered so well, being able to, going from, you know, laying flat out on the bed to being able to sit up, to being able to walk, to being able to go to the bathroom by himself, to get dressed on his own. It's pretty miraculous, especially with a lot of the things the doctor said, that he, you know, certain things wouldn't recover like they did. He would be there much longer than he was. It's amazing to watch.
I'm thankful. Without God, there's no way that we'd be sitting here today getting ready for his release.
Thank you, everybody that's prayed for me nationwide. It means a lot to me. So thank you.